welcome to another episode of Earning the Hate. How you going, people? Man, I'll tell you, man. This is why cops are making it worse and easier for people to kill them. I'm not encouraging people to go kill cops, but I'm telling you, in war, once you figure out the enemy is going to shoot you, even if you give up and comply, then they have nothing to lose than to try and kill you before you kill them. I mean, there's no incentive to cooperate or give up to the police anymore because you're going to get shot anyway. And the courts are going to rule it justified, and the DA ain't going to charge them, and there's no standards for cops that go out there and shoot people when they shouldn't. Absolutely outrageous. Unfreaking believable. They shoot this guy because they tell him to get on his knees, and when he goes to get on his knees, they shoot him. Out freaking outrageous.
Hey, dude, hey, we want to help you, okay?
You notice they want to help him after they've shot him 3 or 4 times he's on the ground. He was complying. He had his hands on the car, and they shot him when they told him to get on it. Out freaking outrageous.
Get over here. I'm talking to you. Walk this way. Walk this way. Keep your hands out of your pocket. Put your hands on the hood. Put your hands on the hood.
So this guy, sitting over in the truck, it looks like he's out here working, has trying to make a living, cooking or selling, or assisting.
Put your hands on the hood. Put your hands on the hood.
By moving his shirt, I think he allows them to see the gun. He has a gun. Maybe he's lawfully carrying. Maybe he's carrying in the course of his business. See, in California, there is a mindset among cops that nobody has a gun unless they're a cop. And that's what happens when you get these government, tyrannical, freaking Nazi-type, left-wing, archaic freaking decisions that people with guns are bad and only government with guns is good. This is why everybody is an enemy if you have a gun, if you're not a cop.
What happened, sir?
Keep your hands up.
What happens, sir? Compliant? Cooperates? Listens?
Hey, Eric. Keep your hands on the hood. I'm not going to tell you.
He's trying to point and explain. Shut up. Put your hands on the hood. They won't let him talk. There's no communication. There's only fear. There's only, how can I shoot you? How can I justify shooting you if you don't do exactly what I say? And then I'll have a second officer come by and we'll both tell you conflicting things. So therefore, no matter who you listen to, we'll be justified in shooting you. And we won't be held accountable because we're the blue line police and we're all heroes. And if you talk about the police, somehow you're a bad citizen.
Tell you again. Hey. Hey, 417 left pocket.
16th and Harbor.
Separate.
When he said 417 left pocket, 417 in California is brandishing a firearm. So that was a sly way of telling him that he's got a gun. Why couldn't he communicate? Hey, dude, I see the gun. Are you authorized to have it? Why do you have the gun? Talk to me. Keep your hands on the car and talk to me. No. I'm so freaking scared of my own shadow that I got to shoot puppies wagging their tail. I'll put a link to that video at the end of this. Yet that now I'm going to shoot you because my partner tells you to get on your knees. And when you go, I'm going to shoot you. Out freaking outrageous.
Separate your feet.
We're going to check it out.
Hey, keep your hands in your pocket. Put them on the hood. I'm not going to tell you again.
Keep your hands in the pocket. Put them on the hood. Keep them on the side. Hands up. Don't shoot. Don't move. Keep your hands. Don't back away.
Check it out.
Hey.
5, we're at 16th and Harbor.
Separate your feet.
We're going to check it out.
Hey, keep your hands in your pocket.
The guy was cooperating. He's trying to separate his feet.
Put them on the hood. I'm not going to tell you again.
At no point has this guy given these officers any reason to claim he was uncooperative. I thought he was dangerous. He wasn't following my instructions. What's really happening is their instructions ain't clear. They're scared of their own freaking shower. They're pissing their pants, and they're looking for a reason to shoot somebody.
We got one at gunpoint on Harbor on the BCH.
Keep your hands on the hood.
Witness.
Put your hands on the hood. I'm not going to tell you again. Keep your hands on the hood. 417 on the right pocket. Hey, I see the gun. You got a gun. Don't reach for it. You can get shot. Okay, get on your knee.
Shoot him because he backs away and he tells him to get on his knees. Did you hear that?
Shot. Okay, get on your knee.
Get on your knees. Did you hear that?
You got a gun. Don't reach for it. You can get shot. Okay, get on your knee.
Hands were nowhere near that. This guy just wanted to shoot. If this guy isn't charged, and even if he is charged, it's bullshit. This is a culture of cops shooting first, claiming in fear, and they know they're going to be backed by the courts. The DAs aren't going to charge them. They have limited immunity, so they can't get sued. There is absolutely no accountability in our freaking Nazi police force out there now. Rick, this is an isolated incident, and you're just picking on the one time. Shut up, you freaking blind idiots. In the land of the blind, a man with one eye is king. I mean, it's just crazy how the cops want everyone to close their eyes and run around and believe this is an isolated incident. This rarely happens. There's a bunch of good cops. When a cop does something good, everybody wants to judge all cops as heroes because one cop did something good. But when multiple cops are doing shit wrong, nobody wants anybody to judge other cops for that. It's just bullshit. This guy did not need to be on the ground bleeding out. Bullshit. Okay, so let's talk about what police activity put here. And I'm not saying police activity made this up. He probably just copied it from the news. But let's read what happened on this incident and see if the blue line is going to come here and justify this. Because this article is very misleading. And I'll explain what I'm talking about. On August 8th, approximately 10:43 p.m., so we're talking almost 11 o'clock at night, Signal Hill Police Department received a call for armed robbery at a grocery store. Okay, armed robbery, person with a gun, armed robbery. Got it. That's a felony. As the members pointed out the vehicle of driving the store, officers attempted to contact the driver of the vehicle of a 2020 Honda Accord. This guy was by a white pickup truck. That's important. But hang on, the news article will confuse you here in a minute. But the suspect fled from the scene and initiated a vehicle pursuit. Signal Hill police officers pursued the suspect, lost sight of him in the area of Willow and Pacific, okay, in Long Beach. Signal Hill police provided the armed robbery and pursuit information to Long Beach Dispatch, who broadcast the information. Normal thing. If I'm in my city and there's a 211 armed robbery, and a suspect got away and he fled to another jurisdiction, we're going to notify that jurisdiction, hey, we were just in a pursuit of a white Honda. We're going to give a suspect we don't have the suspect description anywhere. Okay, so we don't know what the suspect description is. But we would give them suspect description in the vehicle and say we lost him, he may be in your jurisdiction. We call it a BOLO, be on the lookout, B-O-L-O. Put out a BOLO. Hey, this is a guy, he's involved in an armed robbery. Let your officers know, officer safety, may be armed. Okay, no problem. I'm okay with that. Approximately 10:45, so we're talking from 10:43 to 10:45. Officers who were working has additional resources, meaning they were on overtime, to combat recent spike in violent crime. There ain't no recent spike in violent crime in California. It's always been high in violent crime. That has been occurring in Long Beach. Long Beach has been a shithole since I worked in there. I did warrants in Long Beach. It was a shithole then, it's a shithole now. Encountered a 2-vehicle traffic collision. One of the vehicles involved matched the description that the Signal Hill police. Okay, so as a cop, you get a call of a 211, you get a call of a guy fleeing in a Honda, and now you have a traffic accident with a Honda. Okay, we call that a clue. No problem. Cops show up. Officers found the suspect vehicle unoccupied. Gee, that's a shocker. No criminal ever steals a car, commits a crime, and then when he crashes, runs from the crime scene. Wow, who could have predicted that shit? Ray Charles saw that shit coming. A community member, oh, isn't that nice? Like a community organizer, advised the driver, ran southbound on Harbor Drive. He then pointed at a man standing near East Street and Harbor and identified him as the driver. Okay, so now we have a citizen who says this guy's the driver. Officers contacted the suspect and noticed in the suspect's right front pants pocket that, let's see. Oh, notice a firearm. I'm sorry. Notice a firearm in the suspect's right pants pocket. Okay. Right front pants pocket. As the officers were attempting to arrest the suspect, an officer-involved shooting occurred. Oh, poor thing. As they were trying to arrest him doing their job like heroes, somebody got shot. Shocking! Who could have predicted that shit? Officers rendered aid. Damn, good thing we have such heroes. To the suspect. After they shot him unjustly, but they rendered aid. Isn't that nice? Police department, they're so great. The suspect was transferred to hospital in critical condition. A loaded firearm was recovered at the scene. Well, no shit. The guy had a gun in his pocket. We all know that. They're making it seem like this is a suspect. I still don't know if this is a suspect, and I don't think it is a suspect. A loaded firearm was covered at the scene, and no officers were injured. Woo, good thing our heroes weren't injured, because they shoot everybody out on sight. So now they're bragging that they weren't injured. Additionally, detectives later learned that the 2020 Honda Accord had been stolen. No big deal. It's called an unreported stolen. Somebody gets their car stolen, crooks steal it, they go commit their crime before the car gets put in stolen. That way when the cops are on a plate, the cops don't think it's stolen. So if you steal a car in the middle of the night, most people go to bed, you steal the car, you get to drive it and commit crimes all night and then ditch it by the time the owner wakes up in the morning and notices his car's gone. Then he reports it. But by then, you're done using it for whatever you used it. Very common scheme and design of criminals. That's nothing new. Detectives later learned 2020 Honda Accord was stolen earlier that day outside the jurisdiction. The suspect has been identified. So now we're talking about the suspect here. I'm assuming officers render aid to the suspect. So we're calling him a suspect. The suspect has been identified as 28-year-old Mr. Enriquez of the city of Bellflower. Enriquez is a prohibited possessor. So that means he's either on parole or probation, he's got a prior felon, he's committed domestic violence. He's done something that says he's not supposed to own a firearm, so he committed a crime. But Enriquez is a prohibited possessor and has been booked for, this is the sentence where most people will miss it, illegal possession of a firearm and ammunition. He is currently under medical care. Do you notice they never said Enriquez is the one that tried to rob the store, Enriquez is the one that stole the car, Enriquez's fingerprints or was identified as the person that ran from the car from the accident, Enriquez was the suspect that we were looking for, Enriquez did commit a 211 and was charged with committing an armed robbery. They just kind of glassed over all that for you ignorant, pesky citizens that have this pre-mindset that, oh, the officers rendered aid. Ooh, in the middle of a contact, there was an officer-involved shooting. Oh, good thing the officers were safe. Good thing the heroes didn't get hurt. We just glass over all this bullshit, and then down here, we don't even know if we have the right guy. I don't think they do have the right guy, or they would have put. Don't you think they would have charged him with 211, fleeing the scene of an accident, stolen a car? Why didn't they charge him with stealing a car and armed robbery? Why, people? Because they contacted the wrong freaking dude. They got lucky that he was a prohibited possessor, so they shot him, and luckily they can charge him because he wasn't supposed to have a gun or firearm, but he committed no other crime. He wasn't the guy they were looking for, and they shot him because he was being compliant and tried to get on his knees. Out freaking rageous, people. I know there's going to be freaking cops here. Well, Ricky should have listened, and he couldn't listen. He was getting conflicting information from both sides. Absolutely a bullshit shooting. Cops should be charged, and they should be held accountable, and you know what? Then other cops will go, damn, I don't want to go to prison. I better be sure before I shoot the next person. Instead, we go, cops can't be charged. DA won't charge them. They got limited immunity. They're not held accountable, and the department's going to say, and of course the department's going to say to protect themselves from liability, yeah, the officers followed protocol, and we found the shooting was justified. And all the pesky citizens will clap and go, yay, we gave government more power and more control to kill us with unaccountability. Isn't it a great day? Yay, heroes. Absolutely outrageous, earning the freaking hate. We'll end that there.